And with that, we are recording, and I welcome everybody. So my name is Samantha Barnard. I am the development lead of Pambano Technology Development Center. We are based in South Africa. I'm based in Cape Town. My colleague, who many of you know, Arnold Netchambili, is in the chat. He's in our Johannesburg office. And we also have some other colleagues. Di, I see, is in the chat as well. She's in Cape Town with me. And we are a non-profit organization based in South Africa. However, we administer the TechSoup Namibia program from South Africa for your country. And if you've never heard of TechSoup Namibia before, a very warm welcome. I hope to share many awesome pieces of information with you today about TechSoup Namibia. But the focus for today is Microsoft Cloud software. And most importantly, how can your nonprofits, with our assistance, apply for the donated Microsoft Cloud software that's available as a donation to eligible nonprofits? How can we assist you through consultation or maybe through the application? And also, what does that software include? How can you use it? And then I've got a couple of extra add-ons that you can use in your organization to benefit with your donation of the software. So to get started, I hope many of you have seen our social media accounts, or you are registered on our email newsletter, or perhaps through some of the networks in Namibia, you received an email notification to join this session this morning. And in that, you would have seen some information about a product from Microsoft called Microsoft 365 for nonprofits. More specifically, and most recently announced, the Microsoft Cloud for nonprofits. And what we're going to be talking about today is their M365 Business Premium subscription. And the reason for that is that Microsoft are giving eligible nonprofit organizations access to a very powerful bundle that will include your essential Office apps that you use every day, Teams for collaboration and for live webinars or video calls, and then, of course, enterprise level security, which is something that we all as nonprofits need to pay particular attention to. Today, we're going to talk you through what the subscription entails, what it includes, and most importantly, how you can apply for 10 free licenses for your organization, which is a huge cost saving, and it'll make a lot more sense as I go through the slides. So to start off, what exactly is the M365 Business Premium package, and what does it include? And as mentioned, it includes all of your important and most frequently used Office apps. You are able to actually download those versions onto your desktop, be it your laptop or your desktop computer in your organization. Those apps include Outlook, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and the list goes on. The subscription also includes Teams. And if you have never heard of Teams before, please let us know in the chat box and we can send you some additional resources, because Teams, since the pandemic started and since we all went into lockdown, Teams has become a critical tool for nonprofits to use. One seat, i.e. one license of the subscription cloud software, will cover your Office apps on 5 devices. So a practical example is that I am streaming to you right now from my work laptop. I have my M365 business package set up, but I also have it on my phone if I wanted to log into my email or to Word or to anything that I needed to use in the Microsoft Cloud suite. And the beauty of that being cloud is that if something happens to your device that you frequently use, let's say it just stops working or it gets damaged, you can still access all of your software, all of your information, and everything built on the cloud from a different device. If your organization has got staff members that work in multiple different environments, maybe they can't be based in the office with you all the time, they need to be out in your community, maybe they need to take photos of beneficiaries or activities, and they've only got their tablet or their smartphone. The beauty of this subscription is that you can assign those licenses onto 5 of their devices. So it's quite a comprehensive coverage when it comes to device usage. Excuse me. What the subscription also includes is advanced security. So you get your Microsoft Defender and your conditional access. It also includes encryption for sensitive data, which I'm sure you can all agree as nonprofits, we need to take care of our beneficiary information, but also our team information, so our volunteers, our board, our staff, and then also our donors. I'm not too familiar at this particular point in time with regards to Namibia. In South Africa, we have something called POPIA, or the POPI Act. In Europe, there is the GDPR, which I'm sure many of you have heard of. And if in Namibia there are any special privacy regulations or bills that you have to abide by, this can help you with that, setting up that ecosystem to protect your data, to help maintain your privacy, and most importantly, to make sure that you've got advanced security set up for your organization at all time. This is my favorite feature of M365 Business Premium because I do a lot of marketing. I am very much, for example, now recording a lot of sessions and I need to store them somewhere. I don't want to store them on my devices because that can take up my RAM and it can cause your devices to run a bit slower. But each user that gets an M365 Business Premium subscription will get 1 terabyte of cloud storage for collaboration and or backups. And the product that you would use that through is OneDrive for business. And then there's also an added component, which is called SharePoint, which I'll discuss a bit later on. Added to the subscription, Microsoft realized that, many nonprofits don't just have 10 staff members within the organization, they might have more. So what they've done is they've also given a discounted rate through TechSoup Namibia and through the Microsoft Cloud. And if you need to add on additional users on the same cloud subscription, you can do that from roughly $5 per user per month. I say roughly because with exchange rates and with Microsoft pricing, it could go up, it could go down, but that's usually the rough sort of figure that you can budget towards. Added to that, if you have got a hybrid setup, meaning you've got 10 staff members, you want 5 of them to be on cloud to use these robust tools, but the other 5 you need them to use on-premise software, meaning software that you purchase once off. It's a perpetual license. You download it onto your computer and you run it as is. You can do that and you can mix and match if need be. So I wanted to dig a little bit deeper as to what do some of these words mean, how does the subscription work, and what are the differences between your perpetual licenses, so your on-premise versions or on-prem versions, as we nickname them, and then M365. The first starting point is your operating system, because many of you, or many of us, should I say, as nonprofits, we don't quite know exactly the intricacies of how the software works. And so we as Pambana, we like to take every opportunity possible to explain what all the words mean and how the software works. And the starting point for your laptop, if you are not running a Mac, is your operating system. So that would be your Windows 10 software. There is Windows 11 available with a different way to access it. But for the purposes of most of us, I've stuck with Windows 10 because that's predominantly what most of us are using right now, not really wanting to upgrade just yet. With the on-premise version, what you would do is you would purchase the Windows 10 software. You would get your access keys for it, install it onto your computer, and then for 2 years, you'd be able to run it. And then you would have to upgrade when Windows 11 comes out or Windows 12. And as the software upgrades, you would have to continually purchase that on-premise software to put onto your device. With Microsoft 365 Business Premium, because it is cloud software, your Windows 10 upgrade is built in for your license subscription. So what that means is you never have to purchase an operating system again. It will automatically give you an alert that you need to update. I'm sure many of you have seen that on your computers recently, where either your antivirus or Zoom or your Microsoft operating system is saying, please restart and update. That's where this function from the cloud technology comes in, so that you don't have to continuously purchase the new versions of the software as they are released. Of course, the popular Office applications are also available through an on-premise purchase. It's called Office Standard. Currently, we have Office Standard 2019 that we are all using, but there is an upgrade available, which is 2021. And in order to access that via on-prem, you would need to purchase that from us through our store at a discounted rate. Again, the same premise with your perpetual licenses. You access your software key, you download it, and then every time an update comes out, you have to upgrade that. With M365 Business Premium software, everything is included for you. And for this particular offer, which is donated from Microsoft, you can download those apps from the nonprofit cloud. So you don't just have to use Word online. You can download it as you do with your on-premise software, and it will automatically update to the new versions as and when they are released. And you never have to purchase that again in the future, as long as you are a licensed subscriber on the Microsoft nonprofit cloud. Of course, your online storage, as I mentioned, your 1 terabyte of OneDrive storage per licensed user. Just a reminder to everybody, please, will you keep yourself muted and your cameras off? We will have an interactive Q&A towards the end of the session. So with online storage, with your M365 Business Premium application, you get 1 terabyte of OneDrive storage per licensed user. If you look at alternatives out there, and I do encourage you to go and have a look on our catalog, we have Box, we have Dropbox, we have Google Drive. There are so many other alternatives out there if you're wanting to go that route, but just pay attention to the amount of storage that you can apply for as a nonprofit. Without doubt, this is the largest storage for free if your nonprofit is eligible through the application that you can receive for 10 users. A little bit later on when we do Q&A, Arnold and I will chat a little bit about the storage linked to your email and to your Outlook, and you will hear more about that storage levels a bit later on as well. Now, if you wanted to purchase 1 terabyte of OneDrive storage through our catalog at a heavily discounted rate, there is nothing available from the on-premise perspective. So that's why it's always important to do your comparisons. As mentioned as well, in response to lockdown and in response to, for example, just this call, you know, Arnold and I were in Namibia a couple of years ago. We hosted a session very similar to this when we were just launching the Microsoft Cloud to nonprofits. We did a Tech for Good session in Namibia. Absolutely loved it, by the way. I still remember my flight from Cape Town to Namibia, and it was the most beautiful scenery I've ever seen. But having said that, you know, we can't be with you all face to face today. The beauty is that we can use tools like Zoom or Teams or any interactive streaming software to be able to still connect with you and share some of this important information with your nonprofit. Now, Teams is the Microsoft 365 or the Microsoft Cloud software tool of choice when it comes to your collaborative sort of workings with your team, as well as for video calling. And more recently announced, Teams have upgraded their webinar functions. So things like auto scheduling a webinar, assigning certain restrictions for people that can stream in, people that can share the screen. There's so much functionality now attached to Microsoft Teams and their webinar functions that it is a part of this particular offer for up to 10 users within your organization. Now, about 2 months ago, we did a Microsoft Teams TechSoup Connect event, which there is a recording of. If you would like a copy of that to learn more about how to set up Teams, how to access Teams, everything you need to know about a nonprofit using Teams, just let us know in the chat box and we'll take note of it, and I will email you that link after this session as well. So who is TechSoup Namibia? Because everything points back to TechSoup Namibia. So as mentioned before, and for those of you that didn't join a little bit earlier on, we are Pambana Tech. We are a nonprofit based in South Africa, and we administer the TechSoup Namibia program. And on screen is just a quick screenshot of our homepage. You can go to namibia.techsoup.global, and what you'll be able to do is you'll be able to access our catalog, browse our donors, and see all of the software offerings available to your nonprofits if you have a registered TechSoup Namibia account for your organization. Our support team is in the chat box, so if you are wanting to maybe access your login details, or let's say somebody created a TechSoup Namibia account for your organization a couple of years ago, they're no longer in your organization and you need to update those records, please do chat with our team in the chat box. We are here to help you because we are the ones that administer the back end of this website, and we are the ones that can assist you. Now, if you are not registered as a nonprofit or as your organization on TechSoup Namibia, it's free of charge to register. You do need to go through a 3-part process. The first is that we need to know who you are in your personal capacity. So you must register yourself as Sam with your work email address and so on. Once we have validated that, meaning we've sent you an email to make sure your email address is correct and that you've received it, you will then be asked to upload the information about your organization. The reason why it's important to keep this updated is because with that information, we can match you with the tech donors on our catalog. So Microsoft might have certain things available to certain types of eligible nonprofits, whereas Zoom has something completely different. And through your TechSoup Namibia account, which again, free of charge, we are able to pair you up with the donors in the region that have got software donations or discounts for your nonprofit to make use of. If you are wanting to apply for the M365 subscription that we are talking about today, there's a couple of ways that you can do that. The first is to apply directly on the Microsoft nonprofit website, which I'll show you in a little bit when I share my screen with my open tabs. And that process you can do completely from your side. You just go onto the application form, you complete it, you follow the prompts, and then you wait for your automated emails to come through to tell you what the next steps are. This option I would highly recommend for any of you that have got an IT department or anybody in your organization that is helping you with your IT, and that can do things like perhaps email migration, do a backup, have access to your website or your domain hosting, all those little sort of IT intricacies, and then also has all information about your nonprofit to do the application. If you would like assistance, we offer a free cloud consultation as Pombana, and it's either myself or Dai or Spakamiso or Arnold or Lela on the call. And what we will do is we can receive your information through a consultation intake form, which we will share all these links with everybody on email in the chat and in a wrap-up email a bit later on. And what we can do there is we can actually call you or we can email you at a selected time that you have chosen and talk you through the process. We are also very happy to jump on a Teams call, share each other's screens and walk you through the process accordingly so that we can assist you. And as mentioned, it's a free of charge service that we offer to help you do the application. If you don't want to fill out the intake form and maybe you've done a little bit of the application, you maybe got stuck on 1 or 2 questions, you can either email us or you can call us. Again, I will share that information with you, and that's free of charge as well. The reason why this particular slide is very important is because we as a nonprofit, our mission is to help you as a nonprofit not spend a lot of money on your software. That's why we have the TechSoup program. And so anything connected to what we do will always be about helping you save money, because we believe that you shouldn't be spending so much money on your software. You should actually be spending that more in your community, but you need the software to manage your programs efficiently and effectively. So we are here to help you access either the heavily discounted or the donated versions of software available. Now, there are a couple of things to note before you start the application. The first thing is that Microsoft themselves have their own eligibility guidelines. So they, in this case, are viewed as any other donor for your nonprofit organization, whereby you need to check their eligibility guidelines. You need to take note of what types of organizations they will give the software to, how much do you need to use in terms of the software, how many licenses, and so on. And everything is available on their eligibility guidelines website link. If you are wanting us to do a free cloud consultation with you, please make sure that you give us clear and correct contact information. Sometimes what's happened is somebody has either made an error in their telephone number or a spelling error in their email address. We really don't want you to think that we're not contacting you. We genuinely want to contact you. It's just sometimes if you have made a spelling error in that intake form and you don't hear from us, won't you just send us a prompt and say, hey, I filled out the intake form, nobody is contacting me, and let's just make sure that we have your correct details to set up a call. Then most importantly is to take note of the time frame for the application process and then the delivery of the solutions. So once you do the application, which when you do it online, it should take you about 15 minutes to do. Once you've done that, you'll get a series of automated emails, either from us or from Microsoft, prompting you to do certain things. Once that has happened, Microsoft will then cross-check your application and confirm the information that you've put in. And that can take some time. Sometimes it can take up to 72 hours. And the reason why I want to highlight this is because going through the M365 business premium application is not the same as purchasing software through our store. There is a little bit more of a time delay in the sense that Microsoft needs to cross-check your application. They need to make sure that you can be validated against the information that you've given, and then they need to allocate that software through to you. They would then contact us and say, yes, this nonprofit is an eligible nonprofit. Please, can you action the next step? And that's where we can help you place your order for your free software on the portal. So there's quite a couple of things that need to take place. Just remember, in this case, even though it's software that you are wanting to access, it's exactly the same as any other donor relations where you need to do an application or submit a proposal. You don't need to do a proposal, but I'm just using those kind of terminology to explain that Microsoft is your donor in this perspective, and there's a bit of a process that one needs to follow, which can take either 72 hours or maybe up to a week at a time, just to complete from beginning to end. Added to this, another important thing is if you have got current Microsoft software that you're using, so let's say you are paying for cloud software and you want to change it, you can contact us and we can help you with that as well. Again, that's not going to be an immediate change. There will be a process to follow, and we will keep you updated every step of the way. Now, Microsoft have added some other amazing things to this, because they understand that for many of us, moving to the cloud and using this new type of technology, especially in response to maybe having to work remotely, or our entire landscape has changed in the past year and a half. In fact, we're going on 2 years almost. What Microsoft have done is they've said, okay, we want to give eligible nonprofits 10 free licenses, but we do understand that perhaps they don't know how to use the software. So Microsoft has launched, in partnership with us, the Microsoft Digital Skills Center. There is a bit.ly link, which I will share with you afterwards. And the beauty of this Digital Skills Center is that there are online e-learning courses available. For example, you could register for Teams for Nonprofits and learn how to use their collaborative tools. Excel, everybody uses Excel in a nonprofit, whether it's for your budgeting, your finances, your M&E, your communication, your beneficiary registration. Microsoft understand that, they recognize that, and maybe you need to upskill a board member, a volunteer, or a staff member with a course, and Microsoft has created that specialized and unique to the nonprofit sector. The reason why it's unique is they've partnered with us as TechSoup across the globe. These courses are available in multiple languages across multiple regional hubs, and they are available in nonprofit friendly language, written by experts in the nonprofit landscape, and of course from the Microsoft team. The good news is that up until the 31st of December this year, Microsoft are running a 50% off coupon sale for anybody that wants to go through any of these courses. So if I go back here, if you are wanting to purchase a Teams for Nonprofits collaborative course, you do it at your own pace. It's all online learning. Once you've successfully completed it, you will then receive certification of completion, which you can upload onto your LinkedIn profile, add it to your CV, add it into your AGM reports, send it to your board, whatever the case. However you want to use these courses, the good news is that not only are Microsoft availing these courses specifically to nonprofits at a heavily discounted rate to begin with, but they are now also adding in a 50% flash sale just to help everybody get prepared for the new year, for 2022. Now, if you do make use of our coupon, there is a bit of a process to follow, which we will share links with you as well in the chat and after this event. And what you need to do is you need to fill out one of our forms. We will help onboard you onto the platform for free. We will help explain to you which courses are available, and we will then send you a unique coupon code. If your organization is wanting to register more than one person for courses, the reason why we ask you to complete the form is so that we can help streamline that for you. So whether it's one person or 100 people in your organization that you want to onboard onto the courses platform to be able to access courses like this, we are here. And by we, it will be myself and Di. So you can see me, Di's in the chat, and you can contact us via our email, which you'll see in a little bit, and we will help you get onboarded onto the courses platform. Now, this on screen is just the Microsoft Focus courses. When you do go onto our Digital Skills Center, you will see there are other types of courses available to you as well, and registration on the platform is free. However, depending on the course that you select to do your e-learning with, depends on the price attached. Some are free, some are heavily discounted, and some you can actually apply a further 50% discount coupon on. Added to that, we do want to support nonprofits in Namibia and across Southern Africa, which is why we are called TechSoup in Southern Africa. We service 11 countries on the African continent. And our aim, as mentioned to you, is to provide you as a nonprofit with updated information about technology, software, social media, online fundraising, you name it. Anything connected to the online and digital world with regards to software or tech, and more specifically, how it impacts nonprofits or how nonprofits can use it, we are here to assist you with that. We have launched TechSoup Connect Southern Africa. It is the platform that you all use to register for this event. And I do encourage you to keep an eye on your email. Don't unsubscribe from it, because every time we upload a free to attend virtual event that relates to a topic surrounding nonprofits and tech, you will get an email to be able to RSVP for free. We will never ever charge for these events, whether it's in person or whether it's face-to-face, under the TechSoup Connect Southern Africa banner. And the beauty about this is that we don't just have TechSoup Connect Southern Africa that you can tap into as a community. If you look up TechSoup Connect, you will see chapters all across the world, and we are a collective community, a global collective community that likes to share information with each other in terms of training resources, trends, and so on. So how can you contact us? And as mentioned, you can take a photo of this, you can write it down. We are probably in your address book already. Maybe you've had some of our emails go to your spam folder. Please do save us, save this email address in your address book, because we do send out regular newsletters, regular updates, and so on about the software changes, new product alerts in Namibia. But you can also call us on our South African number. And if you are wanting to share TechSoup with any other country in Africa, you can go to meet.techsoup.org. There's a drop-down arrow, select the country of choice, and you can then find the TechSoup partner or the TechSoup website in that country, and you can share that out with nonprofits that are maybe in your network, but not in the same country as you. Now, with that, I am going to quickly show you some of the links that we're sharing with you and what does it look like. This is our Microsoft Cloud dedicated website. Here you can access so much information about the Microsoft Cloud. We have built this website specifically because things are not going to slow down with cloud technology. Microsoft has built a dedicated nonprofit cloud. Not only do they have the software that we were talking about earlier, but they've got things like Azure, they've got Power BI. There are so many things that Microsoft are providing nonprofits with regards to their cloud technology. And this is a website where we take anything that Microsoft is doing and we put it into a blog format in a nonprofit language. So for example, if you wanted to learn more about the courses sale, we have a blog for that. If you want to learn more about what are the utilization requirements for your donated Microsoft Cloud licenses, how should you set them up, how should you use them, we have PDF downloads, we have video resources, you name it, we've got it for you. If you are wanting to learn more about which Microsoft license should I select, maybe you need 5 members in your team that need M365 Business Premium, so the most robust subscription, but you might have some other volunteers in your organization that don't necessarily need that. They might just need email. What does that mean? How should you set that up? we've got a blog resource for you. Added to that, anything that you would like to do with the Microsoft Cloud, if you would like to get a free consultation from us, as I mentioned earlier on, we detail to you how to do that. We have a very simple intake form that we can assist you with. We do some cross-checking to make sure that your email address is spelled correctly, your telephone number. So if you don't hear from us immediately, it might just be that we're trying to find you, but you can always come back on here and complete the form again. We also have a landing page for you, which details everything that I've spoken about now in terms of what does this include. So if you are needing to motivate a board member, maybe you want to think about this for a little bit and you might need to table this at an upcoming meeting with your team or a director, everything is available for you here to copy and paste, create a presentation, or even just direct your team members to this landing page. And it is self-explanatory as you go through. What are the benefits? What do you get? How do you apply? What are the eligibility requirements? And so on. Of course, we have much information about the courses. So if you're wanting to do specific Microsoft Teams training, we've detailed here that over 40,000 nonprofit learners have done the same course. You can see testimonials. I mean, I don't really want to sound like I'm selling something because we're not. We're trying to give you access to donated cloud licenses. But I feel it's important to show you that even if you don't hear from us every single day, because we're not in Namibia, we do have online resources available for you to browse through at your own pace, at your own leisure. And we've explained it in a nonprofit friendly way because that's what we most enjoy reading as Combined Tech. As mentioned, this is TechSoup Namibia. You can go onto our catalog, you can browse what's available. You can also find which donors are available in the region. Yes, we're talking about Microsoft today, but if you need to upgrade your antivirus, if you are wanting to get accounting software, you name it, if you maybe want to go on the Amazon cloud for certain app development, we have got everything available for you. And we, as the team on the call, are the ones that have back-end access to this. And typically we are the faces behind the emails that you get. And that was one of our goals today, was to introduce ourselves to you all, remind you about us, and also help answer your questions. And then this is what the Microsoft Digital Skills Center looks like. This is where you can log on. You can see the details. So I'll just open up this Excel track. There are 6 Excel courses within this track. It's only $15 to do all 6 courses, to receive 6 certifications. But we have a 50% discount where it'll be $7, which is an absolute saving when you look at online learning and expert-led learning. This will give you a certification of completion from the Microsoft experts and from us as TechSoup. So I do encourage you to please go and have a look at all the courses available. With that, I'm going to just take a quick pause, ask Arnold to come on screen with me and say hello to everybody. And maybe just chat about, Arnold, the storage for emails. I always leave it off because we like to talk about it. So if you could just mention that just a little bit and explain a little bit more.
Yeah, so nonprofits that have a domain name, they will be able to host their emails on Microsoft Cloud at no cost. And oh, sorry, I thought I was on screen. Sorry. Yeah.
That's okay.
So, you know, nonprofits will be able to host their emails on Microsoft at no cost, and they will get 50 gig mailbox storage. So, you know, you no longer have to pay for the storage, because, you know, and pay for hosting your emails on you know, with Microsoft. You host your emails at no cost through the Microsoft Cloud, and also you get 50 gig mailbox. So you no longer have to keep deleting your old, you know, emails. You will have 50 gig, and if you have reached the 50 gig limit, you can again you know, archive all your historical emails that you can still have access to at a later stage, so you don't lose anything. And that's the beauty of this all.
Brilliant. So on screen, while Arnold and I are going to chat a little bit, I just wanted to show you as well, what does the Microsoft for Nonprofits application page look like? This is it. It's nonprofit.microsoft.com. So if you're wanting to apply for the software on your own, at your own pace, this is where you would go. A couple of things to check. You can try sign in, which is on the top right hand of your screen, or it should be. You can try sign in using your company domain or your email address and just check, are you eligible? Does your organization, have they already applied? If not, you can also click on register now, which is here towards the left hand side of your screen, and you will then go through a complete application process. Now, through our cloud consultation, we can do this with you. We can do it on your behalf. We can help check if you've registered before. There's so many things that we can do with regards to the consultation, which is why I encourage you that if you do want some assistance, if you want to take this step by step, not necessarily rush into it, but make sure you've got all the information, you understand the process from start to end. Our team is here to assist you free of charge with that. So,
absolutely. And just
sorry,
to add
Arnold,
that, no worries. Just to add that, so when we do that cloud consultation, we will be able to also place your order. So if you're battling to place your, to get this Microsoft grant, do let us know. If you are already been approved, do let us know. We'll be able to assist you with placing your order.
Absolutely. And what I'm going to do quickly is just pull up the pricing just to show everybody, because whenever we say we've got to place an order for you, it's a lot of nonprofits say to us, what do you mean place an order? Even though the licenses are being given to you at a donated rate, i.e. zero, we need to place that order, assign it at a zero rate to onboard you onto the platform. That is so important when it comes to things like once a year, you might need to upgrade your software, meaning there might be a Windows 10 to Windows 11 upgrade. You need to be onboarded onto the system properly. And then also, if you are wanting to downgrade, so let's say, for example, you have got 10 staff members currently, 10 of them are on the M365 Business Premium, and maybe 3 of your staff members leave. You don't replace those staff members, you might want to unassign those licenses. And so we do that through the portal for you. Again, that's a free of charge service, but we need to place that order for you on the portal. You will get an invoice that says at zero rate, and that's what we mean by placing the order. Arnold, is there anything else you'd like to add on with regards to the application, or any important notes that you think nonprofits might need to know about?
Yeah, so if we have nonprofits that are already on Microsoft Cloud, say maybe in the last 3, 4, 5 years, they probably still have the E2 or E1 plan. Those plans are no longer available for nonprofits that have less than 300 users. And if you were, you will continue using them, but you won't be able to add, you purchase additional E1 or E2 plans, but you can definitely have access to the Microsoft 365 Business Basic, which is also available at no cost. Mm-hmm. And say, for example, and again, Sam, so it's a good way, because you have the all the pricing there. So for nonprofits that have more than 10 employees, you can go, either you can still, if you want to, add, if you have more than, say 10 users, you can get the 365 Business Premium at $5 per user per month, or you can mix and match the different plans that are as per on the screen there. So the 365 Business Standard, that's $3 per user per month. But again, if you have, like for us, we have info at Pambano, we have finance at Pambano, we have TechSoup at Pambano. These are emails that don't really belong to a specific user. So we have them as part of the group's email, where info at Pambano, TechSoup at Pambano goes to different people. So
Mhm.
I don't really have to have that email address on my mailbox, or because I still have Arnold at Pambano. So you can add those group emails to the business basic, which you don't really need to have the Office desktop applications, because the Office desktop applications are already included on the, the 365 Business Premium. So in my case, Arnold at pambano.org.za already, so I've got a subscription for the 365 Business Premium. I already have access to all the Office desktop applications. So I don't need to assign the paid subscription to a group email because it doesn't belong to a specific user. It's just, you have a group, the email goes to different people, which is the beauty about it, where you don't really pay per device, because again, with my email address, I can install in up to 5 devices of my own, whether it's a MacBook, whether it's a Windows desktop, laptop, and so on. By just, my email address, I will be able to install in all those 5 devices at no cost.
Brilliant. And that's a good way to lead into some uncomfortable news, let's call it that. The first thing is that there is a utilization requirement. So we've got a full resource, which I will share with you in the event wrap-up email. Basically, what Microsoft has said is that your organizations need to have at least 85% of the assigned donated licenses to be actively used. So what Arnold was referring to now, we go into detail within this blog post. There are multiple resources. For example, you can download a PDF which does a checklist, an IT checklist as to, if you've got an email account that is, let's say, info at your organization, maybe you only use it twice a month. How can you set that up for success so that Microsoft doesn't say you're not using it to the 85% capacity? It's a complete resource available for you. Multiple things. We've got videos, we've got simulations, everything free of charge for you to have a look at. But I do encourage you to please do go through some of the resources. If you have got, let's say, a smaller team, but you've got many, many email addresses, how can we set up this particular donation for you for the ultimate success rate? Just very quickly before I go on to, let me just go over here. Before I go on to Q&A, if there is any, this is the landing page where you can have a look at all the different prices and the plans. These are the 3 that we've spoken about today. And as mentioned, it's either $5 or $3, but that price could change. So always keep an eye on the portal or on your emails. We will let you know if that pricing has changed. But we will place an order for you if eligible for 10 of these subscriptions. If you have more than 10, you can then add on, or you can say, I only want 10 on the M365 Business Premium, I want 3 on the Business Standard, and I need 50 on the Business Basic. You can mix and match. Lastly, I just want to open up our events page for you. This is the portal that you use to to register for this event. And I want to highlight an event that we hosted a while back. It was on October the 15th, and it was called Important Microsoft Program Offerings. The reason why we have hosted an event like this, and if you'd like a recap of this, please do reach out to me and let me know. Microsoft have made some changes. They've made a big announcement with regards to their on-prem products. There is a blog available on TechSoup Namibia as well. I do encourage you to please have a look at it. In a nutshell, what this says is, starting April 4th, 2022, some of the perpetual, i.e. the on-premise licenses that you would typically purchase from Microsoft will no longer be available to nonprofits at the low pricing rates. They will still be available, but at a much higher price. So everything is available on here. The reason why I'm highlighting this at this particular point is, if you're not too sure about cloud, or maybe people in your organization might not want to go to the cloud just yet, they want to continue purchasing perpetual licenses, which is on-premise licenses, please do have a look at this and notify them that as of April the 4th, 2022, there are going to be significant changes to how you can access that version of the software and at what pricing. As you can see here, we've detailed that our products are typically at a certain rate and what that rate will be. So we also are giving just a little bit of notification in case you need to do some financial planning for your organization as well. So not only do we have a blog about it, we've also done an event about it where you can go and access some of the resource files. You can always reach out to our team, ask us to explain it to you. And if we need to submit a quote to you, let's say you've got 50 people in your organization, you want to purchase 50 licenses before April because you want to stay on-prem, come talk to us and let's set up a quotation for you and detail for you the price comparison. That's something that we can do very quickly and easily from our side. And myself, Arnold, Di, we are the ones that can do that for you. So I'm glad you're seeing us all, except for Di. She hasn't been on camera yet. So let me go back to this here and just share this page over here with everybody. And I think it's going to pull that up. If you do need to make contact with us, I know Di has been very active in the chat. She said she has shared so many links, so many contact pieces of information. You're welcome to take a photo of this right now. Keep it on your phone, keep it on your device. Always reach out to us if you have any software related questions. Even if you just want to chat and say, Sam, Arnold, I'd like to maybe upgrade our antivirus. I'm not too sure what to do. That's our job. Our job is to assist you with that and to walk you through that process. Thank you, Di, for being very active in the chat. Let's go and have a look here. All right, we've got an organization using MS Teams. I hope you're using the free version, i.e. the Business Premium software. If you're not, I think it's Andreas K. If you're not, let us know. Let's help get you onto that donated version of that if you're already using Microsoft Teams. Crystal, welcome. Lovely to have you with us. Men on the Side of the Road. I'm familiar with your organization. I'm seeing quite a few social media posts about your organization as well. Not using any cloud software. Well, I hope today has been insightful for you. I hope we've been able to answer some of your questions and give you a quick introduction as to what is available. Most importantly, I do hope that the donated version of the software can be beneficial to your nonprofit so that you don't have to worry about spending expenses on other types of software. Di, thank you so much for that question. Data security bills in Namibia. Yes, we are actively wanting to research that and then also learn a little bit more about Namibia. Do you have any purchasing restrictions? Is there anything that we should know about Namibia, rules, regulations that we can help with? The reason why I say that is that our goal as TechSoup Namibia is to bring new tech donors into your country. So we can motivate. Let's say, for example, you want to get Adobe, or if you want to get new Asana products or Slack or whatever the case, we are the ones that can go to them and say, we are seeing in Namibia that many nonprofits are wanting access to this and this tool. Could you make it available on our catalog? So as much research and as much feedback as we can get from you about Namibia and about the nonprofit landscape, please do share with us. In fact, share with Di. She loves to network with all our nonprofits across Africa. She loves having conversations with everybody and finding out about your landscape and most importantly, what your nonprofit does. So do message her. And with that, I don't see any questions. Crystal, one just come in. Is there any reason that we need to know of as to why organizations would not consider cloud and stick to perpetual licenses? That's a great question, Crystal. So the first reason why organizations would stick with perpetual is internet connection. There is a bit of a misconception that the cloud software needs high quality internet to run. There is a way that you can access some of the cloud software from Microsoft without having a continually stable internet connection. But you do need an internet connection or a Wi-Fi connection for things like Outlook to download your emails and so on. Often what we find is nonprofits are very skeptical because they think they might not have the correct Wi-Fi coverage set up. Come and chat to us. Let's see what you've got. Often you probably do have a good connection to be able to use it. And then the second thing that stops many nonprofits is an area of concern around cybersecurity and cloud security. And where we find that most is not so much from your nonprofit staff members, but more at a board level or at a sort of upper management level. There is a misconception about the security of the cloud, data encryption, and so on. And I often like to use the analogy of driving a car. Many of us may be able to drive a car. We might have access to a car, and we have access to public roads to drive on. Are those safe? Yes, there are rules in place, but it comes down to how we also drive that car. So as much as what the cloud gives you, encryption, Microsoft Defender, you can have antivirus and so on, a critical component to keeping your information secure and to keep your cloud safe is to train your staff on how to be safe on the cloud. So things like, and they're very simple things, setting secure passwords, making sure you don't click on attachments and emails that you're not familiar with. What is your internet browsing like? Have you updated your antivirus software? Don't leave your laptop open and switched onto your, different social media apps or those kind of things in a public area. There are many little steps that you can take on a continuous basis to make sure that whatever security is set on your cloud or on your devices, you are matching that with your user security and you are creating a combined secure environment. Those are the only two reasons that we hear about with regards to nonprofits wanting to not go to the cloud or not go to the cloud as quickly and stay with their perpetual licenses. And I hope that answered your question, Crystal. Right, I don't see any other questions unless anybody would like to unmute themselves. We've got about 4 more minutes left. I like to try and end things a little bit quicker so that we don't finish on the hour. That gives you some time to have a quick break between your meetings. I know what it's like with nonprofits. We have so many meetings at the moment. It's that final push to the year end. So even if you don't have a Microsoft question, if you have a TechSoup question or any other software question, you are welcome to ask that now. I'm just going to stop my share and come back on screen. And I'm also going to